Hi, my name is Paul Holder, Managing Director of Q-Bond International. Today I'm going to show you how you can benefit by using our quality Q-Bond adhesive. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the Q-Bond. I'm going to apply it onto a new neoprene rubber surface. We just use a very small amount of it at a time, and we take these two parts and we put it together. It's very important that those two pieces that you put together is 100% clean and dry. We put them together, and within 8 to 10 seconds they'll bond together in such a way that these two parts will hardly come apart. That gives you a good indication of the quality of the Q-Bond adhesive. Now that I've showed you how the Q-Bond adhesive works, I would like to show you how the Q-Bond small repair kit works. This repair kit over here has been so successful that as of 2011, this year, we've sold over 3 million of these boxes worldwide. Once you receive the Q-Bond kit, it's important to take out one of these pins, take it, and then also when you've got the bottle, to open the bottle and put the pin inside the bottle. You open and close it with this pin. This pin will prevent your bottle in future from clogging up, which means that for the next 2 years, you'll be able to use this bottle for many repairs. Not only the initial repair that you bought the Q-Bond kit for, but many repairs afterwards. It will still be effective. So, you don't only get one bottle of quality super glue or Q-Bond adhesive in it, you get a second one. So in case the first one's finished, you can have a second one to be used. Then also you have some of the grey powder. The grey powder is being used for office automation equipment, aluminum surfaces, all grey surfaces. It has got more than one application, the grey powder. The other one would be the black powder. The black powder is predominantly used for black surfaces and also for bumpers, grills, radiators, motor vehicles, and also motorcycle fairings and all little clips that could possibly break off. The first item that we're going to repair is this tappet cover or valve cover over here. Now there's two ways of actually repairing it. If you have access to actually get behind a hole like this one over here, if you have the access, you can put some tape on the rear and then fill it up with the powder. If not, you can also use some of the same tape and actually plug that hole with this tape. It can be normal tape, it doesn't have to be a special kind of tape. It can be any material actually, just to seal the hole and prevent the powder from falling through. There we go. Now what we do is we take some of the powder and we throw that onto that broken piece. Don't do the powder too thick at a time. You've got to make sure that it seeps through, or the glue seeps through right through to the bottom. What you can do now, you can file it, grind it, or drill it within a very short period of time. It's ready for use. Most of you have at one stage or the other driven up a curb and possibly taken a piece of plastic off like that. Now how you can repair it, instead of just replacing all 4 caps, because you cannot just buy one at a time, I'm going to show you within 3 minutes from now how this item is going to be fully repaired. The first thing that we are going to do is we use the same kind of masking tape. It doesn't have to be blue, it can be any kind of masking tape. And then we're going to stick it onto the rear of this cover over here. Just stick it onto the rear, and it's important to build a little bit of a wall there on the side, like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill it up with the powder. It's important that you don't fill up the whole area and right to the top with the powder, and do it in 2 to 3 phases to make sure that the powder hardens right through. We give it a few drops like that. The next thing we do it on another phase, and we give it a few drops of powder once again. A few drops of glue onto the powder. And the last step would be, this is the last one, we make sure that it's level and it goes right around all the corners. Make sure you don't put too much, otherwise you'll have to do a lot of sanding afterwards. We shake it into the right places over there. and we give it a few drops once again. What we do now is we pull off the tape. We can either do one or two things. If you are lucky and you've got an angle grinder, it will be far quicker to use the angle grinder. We can sand it off. Still slightly visible, however, far better than having a chip out of your wheel cover like that. Once you start using Q-bond, in fact, you will not stop using it purely for the fact that you'll be able to repair many items without any difficulty in such a way that you will not have to buy new ones ever again. In addition to this illustration over here, you can also have a look up on our website. Our website will give you an indication of what range of items could be repaired with a Q-bond adhesive. I thank you very much in your efforts with selling the Q-bond product. Hi, my name is Paul Holder, Managing Director of Q-bond International. Thank you for deciding to sell our very fine Q-bond product. This is our demonstration kit. What we've done is we've made it as easy as possible for you to actually demonstrate Q-bond to your potential customers. This box over here, once you open it, contains the following. The first thing would be a scissors. Now, it will also contain something like this over here. It's an item full of holes. We're going to show customers how to fill up these holes. It also has some brochures. These brochures could be used to show customers how and what items can be repaired with Q-bond. I'll put these brochures aside for the time being. We've also got a O-ring, and we've got a little block that we are actually going to work on to demonstrate the effectiveness of the Q-bond powder. There's also 2 bags of demonstration glue. Kindly note that these demonstration bags cannot be sold. They are there for your purpose to sell Q-bond only, and I think once you start using them, you realize that these are very effective sales tools. I'm going to take these items, place it on the side for the time being. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this O-ring and we're going to stretch it out. I take the scissors. This is an old trick that I've learned throughout the years, is actually to turn it around and to cut off the small pieces on the side. Just a small amount of it. Don't cut off big pieces because you most probably will still do a lot of demonstrations. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open the glue, and then I'm going to hold this O-ring on eye level. Take note that I'm only applying a very small amount of the adhesive onto that O-ring. I normally take a little drop, and if I keep it on the eye level, I can see when that little drop comes out. I only apply Q-bond on the one side of this rubber. Then the next thing would be is I see where the 2 parts fit into one another, and I press it to one another, and I make sure that they fit in flush. Keep it away from your eyes. There may be some excess glue that could come into your eyes, so make sure that you don't keep it too close. I press it as hard as I can, and then also I wiggle it to make sure that there's no air inside the surface. What we do is I wipe off the excess, and now we can pull it. Sometimes you'll get people that actually can break this O-ring, but if you've done it properly, most people will have great difficulty breaking this O-ring apart. That's the one side. As soon as I've demonstrated how the Q-bond adhesive works, I make sure that I cut it off exactly at the same spot again. I cut off that piece which has been glued together, I throw it away, and I take this O-ring and I place it inside the box. Now you know for your next demonstration it will be inside your box. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to open up the powder bottle. the powder bottle I open up, and I will take a little bit of it and throw it onto the block. Then also I take some of the adhesive, apply that onto the powder, and you'll notice it will become hard. Most of the time I use a scissors to demonstrate how quick and effective Q-bond is. Once you demonstrate it like this, you'll most definitely have a potential customer's full attention. The next thing I do is, inside your box you'll have a bag, the demonstration glue bag. I will use this. This is a polyethylene bag. Why we use it is because no adhesive, even including Q-bond, will not glue on this bag. The reason for that is it's polyethylene and it is a high level of oil content. We place that underneath this piece of plastic. This is a normal polypropylene piece of plastic. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of powder in there, some more glue, and we do it in 2 phases, and a little bit more powder and a drop more glue. That should now be rock hard. I just shake off the excess glue and I take the scissors and I illustrate to your client how it actually works. This now will actually tell the story. It will show the customer that this is one of the finest products available on the market, and they will quickly see the benefit by having this item in their workshop, or if not in their house. It's also very important to note that should you have demonstrated all along the side, you can also turn the block around and start demonstrating on this side. It doesn't matter if it becomes full of black powder. It will only give you indication, your customer the indication that the product, it can be used over and over again, and also it will illustrate to them that the product really, really does work. It's important, if you are an owner of a hardware store or possibly a spare shop, what you can do is you can use one of these items. This item that I have in my hand is one of the most effective sales tools that we have in Q-bond. It is what we call a silent salesman. Should it be placed onto your counter, it will show your customers how Q-bond could be used in various places. What it's got double-sided tape, a very good quality double-sided tape at the bottom. What we do is we pull some of it off on both sides and place that onto your counter. Your customers will walk in and they will say, but what is this? The next moment what you can do is you've got all the items that you need in order to do a quick demonstration. And just to summarize, what I'll do first of all is you'll have an O-ring, you'll apply some adhesive on it, you'll put the 2 parts together, you can either pull it or if not you can hand it to your client to pull it. The next thing that you'll do is you'll cut off the pieces that's been glued together, place it on the side. The next thing what we'll do is we'll take some of the powder, we put it on the block and we apply some of the adhesive onto the powder, and then I think your client will be impressed and he will realize that he can use this item either at his home or if not in his workshop. I thank you very much in your efforts with selling the Q-bond product.